Let's dive into the fascinating and sometimes troubling world of parasocial relationships within the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl (NASB) community, particularly between content creators and their fans. This is a topic that's relevant not just to NASB, but to the broader landscape of gaming and online communities. The bond that forms between content creators and their audiences can be powerful, and it's worth examining how these relationships develop, what they mean, and the potential impacts, both positive and negative, on the community. Understanding parasocial relationships. First, let's clarify what a parasocial relationship is. A parasocial relationship occurs when a viewer or fan develops a one-sided emotional bond with a media figure, such as a content creator. Unlike traditional social relationships, which involve mutual interaction and communication, parasocial relationships are largely one-way. The viewer feels connected to the creator, often seeing them as a friend or confidant, but the creator typically has no personal knowledge of the viewer. In the context of NASB, these relationships often form around popular YouTubers or streamers who regularly produce content about the game. These creators share their thoughts, gameplay experiences, and personal stories, which helps them build a loyal following. Over time, fans may start to feel like they know the creator on a personal level, even though the relationship is entirely mediated through screens. The role of content creators. Content creators play a pivotal role in shaping the discourse around NASB. They often act as both influencers and leaders within the community, guiding opinions, setting trends, and even influencing how the game is played. This gives them a significant amount of power, especially when their fans have developed strong parasocial ties to them. When a content creator expresses excitement about an upcoming patch, a new character, or the potential for NASB 3, their enthusiasm can be contagious. Fans who trust and admire the creator are likely to adopt these opinions as their own, even if they haven't fully considered the implications themselves. This can create an echo chamber effect, where certain ideas and perspectives dominate the conversation, not because they're universally agreed upon, but because they've been amplified by influential voices. The double-edged sword of influence. While this influence can be positive, helping to build hype, foster community spirit, and even drive improvements in the game, it can also have negative consequences. For instance, if a content creator is overly optimistic or dismissive of legitimate concerns about the game, their fans might ignore or downplay issues that are actually important. This can lead to a community that's less critical, less willing to push for necessary changes, and more inclined to settle for the status quo. Moreover, when content creators develop a strong parasocial bond with their audience, they can unintentionally foster dependency. Fans might start to rely on the creator for their opinions, rather than forming their own. This is especially true for younger or less experienced gamers, who may look up to these creators as role models. Over time, this can stifle independent thought within the community, making it harder for diverse perspectives to emerge. Monetization and exploitation. There's also a darker side to parasocial relationships when it comes to monetization. Many content creators rely on their fanbase for income, whether through direct donations, Patreon support, or ad revenue generated from their videos. While there's nothing inherently wrong with this, the parasocial dynamic can sometimes lead to exploitation. Fans who feel a deep connection to a creator might be more willing to part with their money, often feeling like they're supporting a friend rather than a business. Creators, in turn, might lean into this dynamic, encouraging donations or purchases in ways that capitalize on the emotional bond they've cultivated. This can create an uncomfortable power imbalance, where fans are emotionally manipulated into financial support. In the context of NASB, this can be seen when creators push for certain DLC purchases, merchandise, or other monetized content within the game. Fans who have developed a parasocial relationship might feel pressured to buy these items, not because they're particularly interested in the content, but because they want to support their favorite creator or feel included in the community. The impact on the community. The influence of parasocial relationships extends beyond individual interactions. It shapes the community as a whole. When large segments of the fanbase are heavily influenced by a few key creators, the community can become homogenized, with little room for dissenting opinions or alternative viewpoints. This can stifle innovation and critical discussion, which are essential for the long-term health and growth of any gaming community. Additionally, the intense loyalty that parasocial relationships foster can lead to toxic behavior. Fans may become overly defensive of their favorite creators, attacking anyone who criticizes them or disagrees with their views. This can create a hostile environment, where constructive criticism is met with backlash, and community members feel pressured to conform to the dominant narrative. Cognitive dissonance and the creator-fan relationship. Cognitive dissonance plays a significant role in how fans react when their favorite content creators make mistakes or express opinions that conflict with their own. Because fans have invested so much emotional energy into these relationships, they might struggle to reconcile their admiration for the creator with the reality that the creator is fallible. This can lead to a few different outcomes. Some fans might double down on their support, ignoring or rationalizing the creator's behavior, while others might experience a sense of betrayal and disengage from the community altogether. In the case of NASB, if a creator downplays the game's flaws or dismisses valid criticisms, fans who have internalized that creator's viewpoint might feel conflicted when they encounter evidence to the contrary. This dissonance can cause stress and frustration, leading some fans to become even more entrenched in their views as a way to protect their sense of identity and belonging. Breaking the cycle. So, how can the NASB community address these issues? It starts with awareness. Both content creators and fans need to recognize the power dynamics at play and the potential for parasocial relationships to influence behavior in ways that aren't always healthy. Creators can help by being transparent about their opinions, encouraging critical thinking, and fostering a culture of open dialogue rather than one of blind loyalty. Fans, on the other hand, should strive to engage with the community on their own terms. This means forming their own opinions, seeking out diverse perspectives, and being mindful of the emotional and financial investments they're making. It's also important for fans to remember that content creators are people too, flawed, imperfect, and subject to the same biases and limitations as anyone else. In the end, the relationship between content creators and their fans is complex and multifaceted. While parasocial relationships can bring people together and create a sense of community, they also carry risks that need to be navigated carefully. By understanding the psychological dynamics at play, both creators and fans can work towards a healthier, more balanced interaction that benefits everyone involved. And as the NASB community continues to grow and evolve, it's crucial that we remain vigilant about the ways in which these relationships shape our collective experience of the game.